So it's a question of May-June 2023, paper 31. Sidra, can you read the question, please?
Yeah. Ellen and Betty had been in a partnership for many years, sharing profits and losses in the ratio 3:2. The capital contributed by each partner was Ellen 300,000 and Betty $240,000. The interest on capital is calculated at 4% per annum. Their business was acquired by J Limited on April 1st, 2022. J Limited took over all the assets except the bank account. Following information relating to the asset taken over is available. The goodwill, um, the goodwill was twice that of the partnership's profit for the year ended 31st March 2022. Some information relating to the current account is as follows.
Okay, so you have the book value of the assets and you have the revalued amount of the assets. Can you tell me the net assets that is taken over? Can you all tell me the NATO, the net assets that is taken over?
Is it 570,000?
Okay, just keep that in mind. The net assets taken over is 570,000. And if suppose you have to make any realization account, so the assets taken over, the assets would come at the book value. Just keep that in mind. Okay, you have been given information about the current account as well. Are you with me?
Yes.
Are you all with me? Okay, come on. Arish, can you read what information we are given about the current account?
Yes, miss. So the balances, drawings, and residual profit shared is given. Alan 7,000 credit and Betty 2,600 credit.
Okay. I mean, I'm reading the question. I'm not understanding what could be the expected question they're asking me to find out, but we are just reading it. We have the current account balance, we have drawings, we have residual profit. Okay, come on, read ahead. Partnership is paying 37,000 in full settlement of the trade payables. That means, can I say that the trade payables is not taken over? Can I say that the trade payables is not taken over?
Yes.
Can I also say if it is not taken over, that means it is paid by partnership?
Yeah.
Okay, so the trade payables is not taken over and the bank account is also not taken over. Are you with me?
Yes, miss. Yes.
This is discharge
Yes,
of
miss.
purchase consideration. What is this?
Purchase consideration.
Discharge of the purchase consideration. Okay, read ahead. The partners also agree that if there is any deficit in the capital account, the partner would pay cash in the bank account to make up for the deficit. That means if there is something which is lacking in the capital account, what is the capital they are given to us? 300,000 and 240,000, right? So if there is something that is lacking in the capital account, the partner will give cash into the partnership bank account to make up for the deficit. Keep this also in mind. Now, after reading this question, they have asked me, first part, to prepare capital account and capital account to show closing entries, to prepare the partnership bank account, find the profit for the year, and the amount that is paid by J Limited to the partnership, and prepare the bank account. So these are the things that they've asked me to prepare. Let's go one by one. First thing, partnership profit for the year. How will we get it? How will we get partnership profit for the year? Think
The
about,
residual profit is given.
sorry.
The residual profit is given.
Okay, very good. If the residual profit is given, that means they're talking about the profit and loss appropriation account.
Yeah.
Okay. They want us to find the partnership profit for the year and the residual profit is given to us. That means they are talking something about the profit and loss appropriation account because that is only the place where the residual profit is used. Are you with me?
Yes.
So they want the partnership profit for the year. Do you know the format of profit and loss appropriation account?
Yep.
Can someone tell me the format of profit and loss appropriation account?
Profit for the year.
Hmm.
Add income from partners, which is interest on
Drawings.
drawing. Yeah. And less expenses towards partners, which is interest on capital.
Then you will get
Residual profit.
this residual profit will be
Shared
in the
among the
profit
partners.
sharing ratio. So I know that if I want to find out the profit for the year as the balancing figure, I have information about residual profit. I had read somewhere regarding the interest on capital. So we can find out the profit for the year. We can, right? So use this format, take your time, find out the partnership profit for you. Come on, do it yourself. When I talk about interest on capital, do I have the capital amounts with me?
Yeah, in
It's
the beginning of the
It is given as 300 and 240,000. Please do it yourself, okay? Percentage of interest on capital is given to me. Percentage of
4%.
interest. Yeah, 4%. That means I have 12,000 and I have 9,600. Are you with me?
Yes, miss.
Okay. We are also making a current account, right? So the second effect of the interest on capital would go in the capital account or current account?
Current account.
Current account. Keep that also in mind. So my interest on capital total will be how much?
21,600.
What is residual profit?
It is 40,400 because we have
For
to add.
Alan and Betty, they've given me separately, right? Here.
We have to add both of them, right?
So the residual profit is 4,400, right? Do we do it like this only? So what will be the profit for the year? It will be 40,400 plus 21,600. $62,000. The B part is they're asking us to make a capital account to show the closing entries. Now, when they are telling that you're making a capital account to show the closing entries, it means that you have to close the current account. I'm repeating again. When they are telling me that you make the capital account to show the closing entries. Closing entries means this is a sum of acquisition. When I say this is a sum of acquisition, that means my partnership is dissolving and it is getting converted into limited companies. Partnership dissolving and getting converted into limited company, that means you will have to close your current account and you will have to transfer it to capital account. Are you all with me?
Yes, Miss.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So when I talk about the capital account, do you know the format of capital account or the things that would come in the capital account? And the current account. First, let's go through it.
Capital account, opening balance.
The balance begin down would be over here.
And then
if you have any profit or loss on realization, the profit on realization will come over here. The loss on realization will come over here, right? Are you all with me?
yes.
Okay. The second thing, the partnership firm is closing. Partnership firm is closing and the limited company is acquiring the partnership firm. So whatever money the limited company is going to give to the partners would be like the drawings for partners. I'm repeating again. Whatever money the limited company is going to give to the partner would be like drawings for the partners.
This how?
Okay, fine. Understand. Limited company is buying the partnership firm, right? To buy the partnership firm, limited company has to give to the partners purchase consideration. This purchase consideration will be taken away by whom?
The partnership.
The partners. So anything that the partner will take away from the firm, is it like the drawings for the partners?
Okay, yeah.
Anything that I am telling, it is not drawings. I'm telling it is like the drawings. So anything that the partner is going to take away, so the partner is going to take away the purchase consideration. So the purchase consideration will come on the debit side. It will or it will not.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So tell me up till now, when there is a sum of acquisition and you're making a capital account, what are the things that you will record in the capital account? On the credit side, what will you have? Balance begin down. If you have a profit on realization, it will come over here. If you have a loss on realization, it will come over here. And this profit or loss on realization has to be definitely calculated. Are you all with me?
Yes,
Are you
miss.
with me? Purchase consideration will come over here. And the current account has to be closed. And it is to be transferred to the capital account. whatever is the balance in the capital account, you will not have a balancing figure. It will be settled through bank account. Anybody has any doubt in the format of the capital account? This is the
No,
fixed
no.
format that you should know the way we know it in partnership. Can somebody again tell me the format of capital account? Before I move ahead, I want you to know your formats well. What is the format of the capital account?
Miss, one more thing. The shares that the limited company will give, that's also on the debit side, right?
Anything, na, the limited company is going to give the partners purchase consideration. Right? Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. That means they are going to discharge the purchase consideration and the partners are going to take it away. So in whatever form the purchase consideration is discharged, that is a debenture, shares would come over here. But the bank we will not write because the final settlement ultimately happens through the bank account. So the bank would be the balancing figure. Because the partnership firm is dissolving, so the final settlement has to happen. They will not have any other balance closed down. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. Arij, can you give me the format of the capital account? Arij is doing something that I don't know. Upinder, can you give me the format of the capital account? Hello.
Yes, Miss. Yeah, the balance on the credit side.
Yeah.
Current account can either be debit or credit.
Okay.
Profit on realization credit, loss on realization debit. Anything issued for the shareholders will be debit, like ordinary shares and
Shareholders. The purchase consideration that is discharged and given to the partners.
partner, sorry.
The purchase consideration that is discharged and given to the partners would be on the debit side, right?
Yeah.
Will there be any balance closed down or begin down?
No,
For the
you'll just
capital
write
note. Yeah, the final settlement happens through bank. Now you'll also know the format of the current account. Can you give me the format of the current account? It can have a debit balance or it can have a credit balance. Drawings, interest on drawings here. Interest on capital here. Are you all with
Salary and
me?
share of
Sorry?
any salaries or share of profit.
Any salaries, commission over here. So this is the format of it. Now in acquisition, when a limited company is acquiring the partnership firm, then there is one thing that we have to calculate. What is it? One thing that we have to calculate?
The transfer to the capital.
The number of debentures or the value of debentures to be issued. The value of debentures to be issued, so that what remains the same?
interest.
So that the interest on loan remains the same. Are you with me? This is one thing that you will have to calculate, and the second thing that you will have to calculate is the profit or loss on realization. With me?
Yes.
Keeping all this in mind, I will again read my question. Keeping all this in mind, I will again read my question, and I know that I have to calculate the profit or loss on realization. Are you all with me?
Yes.
That means I will have to make a realization account, and also I will have to calculate the value of the debentures to be issued so that the interest remains the same. Are you all with me? Are you with
Yeah.
me?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Here I have already found the share of profit. Can you tell me where will the share of profit go?
It will go in the current account.
It will go on the current account. Before I'm reading the question, whatever I did on top, I'm trying to incorporate. So the share of profit will go in the current account. What is the amount of the share of profit? 24, 240, 16, 160. Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now start reading. We have highlighted. Come on. Capital account balances. Where will it go? I need answers, people.
Capital account credit side.
Are you all making it along with me?
Yes, miss.
Interest on capital.
Current account.
Amount is there on top. 12,000 and 9,600. Come on. Assets taken over. Come on, all assets where?
Debit.
All assets on the debit side. So I'm writing 549,000. And it is revalued at what amount?
570,000.
So purchase consideration is how much? $570,000. Then there is one more asset that is created, that is goodwill. Yeah. Goodwill is
Yes, the-
twice. Sorry.
The revalued amount should be the same as the purchase consideration.
Yeah, because this is the book value of the assets that is taken over at 570. Maybe if you get another amount of purchase consideration down, you can change it. But what I see for now, assets worth 549,000 are taken over at 570. That is what they have revalued. Yeah.
Okay.
And the partnership also has goodwill. That means in all the assets, there is goodwill also there. What is the value of the goodwill?
21,000.
Goodwill is twice that of partnership profit. They are telling you clearly.
Okay.
This is the partnership goodwill, twice that of partnership profit. So I have calculated partnership profit on top, 62,000.
$124,000.
124,000. Now I have current account balance of Alan and Betty. Where will I write? Where will I write the current account balance? I'm waiting, kids.
It
recording
will write it on the credit side.
On the credit side. So 7,000 and 2,600. Where will I write the drawings?
Current account debit side.
Current account debit side. Do I need the residual profit? Do I need the residual profit?
No.
No, I do not need the residual profit.
The current account.
Sorry, now come on over here. The partnership has paid 37,000 in full settlement of a trade payable. That means you have a liability also. All assets on the debit, all liabilities on the credit. All assets on the debit, all liabilities on the credit. That means there is a trade payable with me. That is a liability on the credit. Trade payable is for how much? Trade payable is for how much?
39,000.
And how much
No,
you are
no, wait.
discharging for it?
47,000.
47,000. That means you are receiving a discount of 2,000. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. Whenever you will see your MS, 39,000 is paid for 37,000. So whenever you see your MS now, they will not write trade payables on the credit and the discharge on the debit. They will write the net effect 2,000 over here as discount received. This is an alternative presentation. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
fine.
miss.
But I follow my presentation, so I am okay with it. Come on. Purchase consideration. Purchase consideration over here, I have 570. Now they are giving me the discharge of purchase consideration. Where will the discharge of purchase consideration go?
Ordinary
debit.
share 15.
On the partner's capital account debit side. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay, now read. Both partners received 8% debentures. Both partners have received 8% debentures to give the same amount of interest on capital. That means Alan is having interest on capital how much? 12,000. And Betty is having interest on capital how much? 9,600. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
So
miss.
both partners received sufficient 8% debentures to give them the same amount of interest of capital as they had been entitled to in the partnership. So can you all give me the percentage debentures that I have to issue to Alan?
150,000.
How will you do it? Divided by 8%
8.
and divided
Yeah.
by 8%. So percentage debentures that is issued to Alan is 150,000 and percentage debentures that is issued to Betty is 120,000. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is discharge of purchase consideration by J Limited. What is J Limited giving? 8% debentures. 150,000 for Alan and 120,000 for Betty. With me? Each
Yes, miss.
partner is receiving 150,000 ordinary shares at a value of 1.30. That means 0.30 is the security premium. And every partner is receiving 150,000 ordinary shares into 1.30. So I will write it as ordinary share capital. I will write it separately, and I will write share premium separately, so that I am clear what is the value of capital and I am clear what is the value of the premium. Are you with me? So ordinary shares 150,000 is capital and the premium is 45,000. Balance was settled in cash and paid into the bank account. So for her, if you see, I have not been given any value of purchase consideration. Can you see that?
Okay.
So that means I'm left helpless, but to consider 570 only as purchase consideration. Are you with me?
But it's not always the case that the revalued amount would be the purchase.
No, it would depend question to question. So can I find out my profit on realization? First I can do, now I have to do one thing. I have to find profit on realization. I have to find current account. Profit on realization goes to the capital account. Current account balance will go to the capital account and the balance would be settled in bank. Yeah. The balance was settled in cash and paid into the partnership bank account. So can you all find the profit on realization for me? It is 570,000 plus 39,000.
$250.
Hmm?
$250.
250,000 minus
Yeah.
5. Oh no, how 250,000?
Miss, I'm getting 101,000.
Just a minute, darling. This is 570. This is 570 plus 39, 609,000, right?
Right. 101.
I am using the calculator right now. I don't have the marking scheme book. Minus 549,000 minus 124,000. How 101 you're getting?
I got 145.
What is the debit side total? 549,000 plus 124,000 plus 37,000.
Miss, the debit side is more by 710,000.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still getting 101.
How you're getting
Yeah, even I'm
101?
getting
549 plus 124 plus 37, which
Is how
is
much?
713. Oh, one second. Not 713, sorry. Is 710. And then you subtract 39 and 570 from it. Yeah, 101.
101,000 profit on realization. 88. It should be 147, the profit on realization.
Wait, Miss, what did you do?
What what I did is goodwill, I took it as an unrecorded asset. Okay? Here. Are you all with me? Kids,
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I took goodwill as an unrecorded asset, but it was actually an asset which was never there. But at the time of acquisition, it was revalued and it became a gain. An asset named goodwill was created. An asset named goodwill was created and it became a gain for the partnership. There was never an asset over here in the name of goodwill. So it is an unrecorded asset that came for acquisition. Are you with me? This is the only mistake that I did. Now can we do? What is the total of the credit side? 39,000 plus 570,000 plus 124,000. So this is 733,000. 733,000 minus 549,000 minus 37,000. So I have a realization profit of how much? 147,000, which is to be distributed amongst the partners in which ratio?
3:2.
3:2. What is that 3:2? Can you all give me the 3:2?
88,200 and 58,800.
88,200 and how much?
58,800.
58,800. Girls, listen to me. Okay, we are merging two entries together. If you don't put goodwill over here, if you don't put this goodwill over here, and they have given you the value of goodwill, then what do? You raise the goodwill amongst the partners in their old ratio. Do you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is basically the profit on revaluation and goodwill raise that we are merging together.
Yes, but if you show it separately, is that okay?
You can show it separately also. Are you with
But we
me?
don't write goodwill, right?
Sorry?
You won't write off the goodwill, right?
No, they've not told you anything to write off the goodwill. Like in that sum that we did for her, that Renault and something. It is same like that sum. So basically, even if you don't take goodwill over here and you raise goodwill separately over here, you will get the same effect. So I'm just
Miss, how do
continuing
you
and
know,
sorry,
how do you know when you're supposed to raise the goodwill and when you're
they have
not?
given you
Because sometimes
effects, right? They have told you that you create goodwill and they did not tell you anything about writing it off. And goodwill will never go to the limited company. So they are just giving you that the partnership has said that they have goodwill and now you have to dissolve it. So you're just going to raise the goodwill and get the gain on realization or the realization profit. Are you all with me?
Yes.
Can you close the current account for me now? First, Alan. Which side of Alan is more?
Debit. Credit,
Debit.
credit.
Credit of Alan is more. How much it is?
43 to 40. And the
11
back
to 40.
for Alan, 11 to 40.
11 to 40. So this is on the debit side, so it will go on the credit side, right?
Yep.
Here I will write capital and there I will write current. Are you with me?
I can
Yes.
just write this.
Sorry?
I can just write balance.
No, there will be no balance in the capital and current. Current will go to the capital. Capital will be closed and it will be settled through bank.
Okay.
Betty, which side is more?
Debit.
Debit is more.
Capital figure is 5640.
Capital is 5640. So it is credit here. Where will it go?
Debit.
Debit. 5640. In
This will
current,
be
I
the
will write capital, and in capital, I will write current.
okay.
Are you with me?
This will be the current balance. I'll always write current for this.
Yeah. This is the current account balance. Current is getting closed. Current is getting closed and it is getting transferred to the capital account. Now, what is to be done? The balance is to be settled in cash and paid into the partnership bank account. So, what is going to be paid into the partnership bank account? It can be in or out of the bank. It depends upon the account. Let's talk about Alan. Which side is more?
Credit.
I think the credit is more. It is 399.
440. And then the bank balance will be 54,440.
Okay. Can you tell me this is debit? So bank will be what? Credit.
Yeah.
So money is being paid out of the bank. Yeah. Alan will
Yeah.
receive some money. Yes. Let's talk about Betty. I think credit is more.
Yes, debit is more.
Okay, debit is more.
Debit is
326.
Yeah. And then the bank balance is 21,840.
So money is coming into the bank. Betty will pay and Alan will receive some money to settle the balance. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So the partners have agreed that if there is any deficit on the capital account, the partner would pay cash into the bank account to make up for the deficit. Are you with me?
Yeah. Miss.
Okay. Now they have asked you to calculate the amount that is paid by J Limited into the partnership bank account. Amount which is paid by J Limited into the partnership bank account. So can you tell me how much did J Limited pay in the bank to the partners? Let's see. J Limited have to give the partners for the value of the assets that is taken over. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So J Limited have to give the partners 570 for the assets taken over. J Limited has to give the partners for the goodwill. Do they have to give for the goodwill? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So J Limited have to give the partners for the goodwill. How much do they have to give for the goodwill?
Yes, but how do you know you have to like include all of these stuff? in it.
No, see, calculate the amount that J Limited is going to give to the partners. I want to know how much is J Limited going to give to the partners. So J Limited has to give to the partners for two things: for the assets that he is taking over and for the goodwill of the partnership firm. Right? And this is how he will discharge the purchase consideration. So to discharge the purchase consideration, he is giving 8% debentures, and to discharge the purchase consideration, he is going to give shares, and the balance amount is going to pay in cash.
Okay, fine.
So Farah, I come back to your question. You told me purchase consideration is 570,000, and I told you that as of now, I feel it is 570,000. But
Okay.
can I
But
say the purchase consideration is 570,000 plus 124,000
yeah.
for the goodwill and for the assets that is taken over?
Okay, yeah.
Are you getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So
wait,
the
1 second, can you repeat?
Sorry. Yeah, tell me. Tell me, Sidra.
Yeah, can you repeat the point that you just said?
Okay, fine. Up till now, I know that J Limited is taking over the assets as 570,000. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. We are not given the value of the purchase consideration very clearly. But J Limited has taken over the assets at 570,000, and they have also valued the partners' goodwill at 124,000.
Okay, fine.
Okay. That means the purchase consideration is how much? That means the purchase consideration is 694,000. If purchase consideration is 694,000, net assets taken over is 570,000. So the amount that you're paying over and above the NATO, that is 124,000, is for the goodwill.
Miss, but didn't you know this at the start as well when you were calculating
Here
the
I
bill?
have the MS. Understand. I have the MS. I know this is it. But ultimately, when you are solving, you are the people who have to derive it.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Okay. If I wanted, I could have told. But ultimately, you have to derive it, not me. Are you getting it?
Yeah, miss.
Okay. Calculate the amount that is paid by J Limited into the bank account. So, can you tell me what is the amount that J Limited will give to the partners? They will give to the
694.
partners for the assets, and they will give to the partners for the goodwill. So they are going to give 694. Out of which, how much debentures are they giving?
150 and 120.
Out of which debentures are for 150 and 120. So debentures are for how much? Allen is 150 and 120. So they are giving 270 for debentures. How much are they giving for ordinary shares? 300,000 ordinary shares into 1.30. 390,000 for ordinary shares, yeah? $300 ordinary shares, 150 each into 1.30. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So what is the balance that J Limited will give in cash, or they will put in the bank account? Girls,
Yes.
what is the balance that J Limited will put in the bank account?
will it?
Purchase
it 34?
consideration is how much? 694. Out of which
34,000.
70. Shares
34,000.
and premium is 390,000. So remaining amount will be paid in cash, or I would say it will be put in bank account. How much?
34,000.
34.
34,000.
Now I have to show the partnership bank account. Come on.
Miss,
Partnership
where did the 300,000 ordinary shares come from?
150 ordinary shares, each partner.
Oh,
You can
E,
take
okay.
this, you can take this amount, darling. We've already calculated. 195 plus 195. Share
Okay.
capital and share premium. Yeah?
Yes, Miss, got it.
Okay, fine. Now partnership bank account. Come on. Whatever is going to come into the partnership bank account, I will write over here. Whatever is going to go out of the partnership bank account, I will write over here. Are you with me?
Yeah, miss.
Okay, fine. J Limited is going to give the partnership firm 34,000. Yes? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Apart from that, when I made the capital account, Alan is going to receive Alan debit bank credit. Alan was debit the final settlement to Alan. It is Alan debit and bank credit. Right? So on the
Yeah.
credit of bank, I will write Alan. Are you with me?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. Bank Betty credit. So bank
Debit.
debit. What will I write?
21,840.
Have I made any other payment from my bank?
Miss, the current account deficit.
This is the current account deficit, right?
Oh, okay.
I closed the current account over here. I closed the current account. I transferred it into the capital account. So whatever was the deficit was in and out from the bank. Yes? Apart from this, is there any other payment that I have made from my bank account? I see over here one thing. The partnership has paid 37,000 in full settlement of trade payables.
Oh yeah, the 37,000. It would be on the
37,000
credit
I have
side.
paid to the trade payables. How much? 37,000. Are you all with me?
Miss, the payment to Alan, which one was it? The 54,000 pound.
Here, when I am closing my capital account.
Okay.
What is debit on Alan? What is debit on Alan? Credit to the bank. Credit on Betty, debit to the bank. Are you with me?
Mm-hmm. What about the drawings
Which drawings?
for both Alan and Betty? 32, 34.
This,
66,000.
this went in the current account, right?
So I won't write it here at all.
No, nothing. Now listen to me.
I have one question.
1 minute, first listen to me. Is the partnership firm closing? Is the partnership firm closing?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Partnership firm is closing down. So will the partnership bank account now have any closing balance that I'm taking over in the partnership?
No.
No, it should
Nothing. That means the partnership bank account will not have a balance closed down at all. Will it have or it won't
Yeah.
have?
It should not have. No.
It should not have. Nothing. It shouldn't have. But it definitely had an opening balance. Because they are telling that J Limited has taken over all the assets except the bank account. It definitely had an opening balance, yes or no?
Yes, yes.
And I don't know whether it was bank account or bank overdraft. So whatever is the balancing figure of the bank account would be the opening balance. It could be on either sides. I don't know. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So now tell me what would be the opening balance of the bank account? This you have to derive that it will not have a closing balance because the bank account is not taken over. Bank account is not taken over, so bank account will not have any closing balance. So I will just close it. Whatever is the balancing figure is the opening balance. This is your derivation, your understanding. So this is 91,
Miss,
440.
but then it
Yeah,
will always be the on the debit side, right? Like it's not an overdraft.
you
or
don't
anything.
know, darling. Whatever it is, it can be on the debit side, it can be on the credit side, because bank can also have a balance, it can also be an overdraft. But you should definitely know that it is not a closing balance because the partnership firm is dissolving. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you give me the opening balance? And they're also
35,
telling, prepare the bank account to show closing entries. The bank is closing. So whatever if is the balance is the opening balance that your bank account has started with.
Miss, is it 35,600?
Yes. The sums would be somewhat like this. You should know this means this means this account should have this account should have this. Is there anything that is related to this in the question? You have to link it.
Miss, it was written that if the current account was a deficit, it had to be paid by bank. So
Now
won't that be
listen.
recorded?
The partners agreed that if there is any deficit on the capital account, okay, they have already told us that the capital account has a balance of 300,000 to 40,000. There is not going to be any closing balance. Okay, there will not be any closing balance. So if it settles, no problem. But if there is any deficit in the capital account, the partners would pay into the bank account. So the partners, Betty is going to pay into the bank account. So it is coming into the bank. So Betty is having a deficit in his capital account. You see, when I am closing, the account is not settling up. Is it settling?
No.
No, it is not settling. So there is a deficit in the capital account, and this Betty is going to pay into my bank. So it is Betty credit. That means Betty is the giver, and it will come into the bank. So I already incorporated this.
Okay.
Okay, this was the meaning of it, that the capital, it normally, even if they don't tell you, in a sum of acquisition or dissolution, the capital account will never have closing balances. It settles through bank account. Are you all okay with the bank account now? In case if you're referring to the MS, it is complicated. You don't need to do so much. Come on, make and send images and tell me if you have any doubt. Read it for me, okay? The partnership business of Alan and Betty was the... Okay, somebody please read it.
The partnership business of Alan and Betty was the first business acquired as a part of the expansion strategy of G Limited. In a meeting to review the results of the acquisition after 1 year, the finance director reported that the acquisition of partnership business did not bring the expected additional profit to J Limited. Advised whether or not J Limited should continue the expansion strategy.
Okay, come on. 2 marks whether he should continue, 2 marks for not to continue, and 1 mark for advice. Come on. He should continue. Give me 2 points. He should do it. It's just 1 year that J Limited has done the acquisition. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not got the expected profit, but any expansion would take time to settle. So acquisition is a long-term strategy and it's just 1 year time. Acquisition will eliminate competitors. Yeah. Only 2
Mhm.
marks for acquisition. Now 2 points for not to acquire. What would you say? Two marks for not. J Limited has done a very optimistic assumptions and he's paying for the goodwill now in expectation of future profits which is not turning through. Yeah.
Yes, miss.
Anything else you can add in of not doing expansion?
Culture clash.
What do you mean by culture clash?
Mm-hmm.
J Limited would
It
still be giving a good amount of shares to the partners. Yeah, they're giving 150,000 shares. J Limited is still giving a huge amount of shares to the partners, wherein these partners still can have the rights to operate J Limited. So he should reduce the number of shares given. You can write this as a point. Okay. So what do you think? Advise whether he should continue expansion strategy or not. He should definitely continue expansion strategy and give it some time. Okay, 1 mark for the advice because you don't have too many points against it. So you have some points which are much better for expansion. So you should give the advice where you think the points are more better, but they need clear advice. Don't do it like business. Okay.